Hello mate, and welcome to the YouTube channel that in spite of increasing popularity, increasing subscriptions and increasing memberships, seems to be decreasing in ad revenue while YouTube are being as much used as tits on fish, making me wonder why the fuck I bother. In this video I'm going to talk about the top mistakes that creatives make in their business practices. Kicking off, number 1, assuming that everybody loves your idea. Not everybody's going to love your project. In fact, given that there are over 6 billion people on the planet, it's fair to say that most people won't love your idea. Rather than focusing on the few people who do and therefore ignoring your potential customers before they've even had a chance to become customers is asking for trouble. Posting passive-aggressive comments on social media about anonymous haters while simultaneously tearing yourself up inside over people who were never going to pay for your product even before you started, not so subtly attacking them in public, is a surefire way to make yourself look petty and make yourself look more attractive to trolls than a giant bridge over a sea of a lot more naked lady trolls. Meanwhile, all the people who could have become paying customers will be watching in bemusement, thanking their lucky stars they didn't make the mistake of getting financially tied to someone so unprofessional and narcissistic that they can't for one moment understand why people could possibly not think their idea is as universally loved as Will Smith before he bitch-slapped his own career down the toilet. Better to be prepared for a million smartasses who think they can do better, and in spite of never having had the courage to try or failing to last more than a week themselves, they'll be more than happy to continually tell you what they think you're doing wrong based on their vast lack of experience or knowledge of any of the subject matter whatsoever. Number 2, giving up when the project isn't an overnight success. Unless you're one of the 1% who is successful because of their surname, or the other 1% who are successful due to utter blind luck, as a creative you're going to spend years struggling to get your projects off the ground and develop skin as thick as a rhino's hide. For most creatives, success is a slow process that requires you to capitalise on every opportunity without ever overselling the product or overselling yourself. To expect your product to succeed immediately is a shortcut to flushing your own motivation down the toilet and likely to come across to your peers as having delusions of grandeur which will inevitably terminate in you fading from memory within 12 months, rather like Katie Price's music career before she reverted back to type, i.e. prostituting herself and her children for fame. Be prepared for a long and arduous journey full of personal sacrifice and more than one missed meal, and you'll be prepared to succeed in whatever it is that you're doing. Number 3, treating the competition as the enemy. Unless you're an abject moron who thinks failed attempts to intimidate teachers to stop passing on knowledge is a way to make your shit adult VN less shit, you'll probably understand that competition is healthy for creatives. Aside from anything else, it stops you from phoning it in and gives your customers choice, thus meaning that the customers that you have chose to be your customers because they like your product, not just because there's no alternative. Failing to understand that and instead resorting to bad-mouthing competition and wasting hours each week trying to discredit your peers and the aforementioned failed intimidation attempts rather than focusing on improving your own skill set or product and making yourself look petty, childish, and drawing people's attention to your own incompetence and making them far less likely to invest their hard-earned money in your mediocre product. Learning from the competition and working with them to nurture a positive community where customers can enjoy interacting with creators, Bob Marley wasn't just virtue signalling when he said love beats hate, and adopting an abundance mentality instead of trying to steal customers from your peers is far more likely to succeed and draw new people into the community, making things better for everyone. Number 4, punishing potential customers for crimes they haven't committed. There is a certain glamour photography website that treats its customers like they're all pirates and not the cool kind. You have to go through security check and jump through hoops after providing the photographer with your money so that he can check whether or not you're one of the 5 people who either gave him money and posted the content on piracy sites, most likely out of spite for treating his customers like shit. The image quality is pretty bad, and to make things worse there are watermarks all over the place, and the video content has a watermark which bounces around the screen, often obstructing the good bits of the content with a unique ID number so that the photographer can identify exactly which customer's video is circulating the internet for free rather than paying extortionate fees that he expects for his not very good work. He justifies this awful practice by claiming that it's to protect the photographer's plural rather than just admitting that he's the only one who shoots for the site and is too much of a narcissistic jackass to realise that he's hurting his own business and that models can't wait to get away from him, which he combats by lying to the models whilst deliberately trying to prevent them from working for anybody else. It's a well understood term in business that the harder you make it for people to spend their money with you, the less likely they are to do it, and if you add insulting them to the combination, the chances are you aren't going to get many repeat customers except those that either don't know any better or those that simp so hard for one of your models that they will literally tolerate just about anything. You should always conduct your business with a focus put on the good customers that enjoy your product and making them feel welcome and appreciated so that the one-time customer is more likely to become a long-term arrangement. No business has such a large pool of potential customers that they can afford to alienate them, as anyone with an ass cock of experience will understand that doing so will only result in your business failing rather spectacularly, with all the people you've pissed off rubbing their hands in delight whilst you cry over your bank statements, all the while struggling to comprehend why no one is holding a candlelight vigil for your self-pitying half-witted business practices.